50 years later, for me, some things haven't even changed. 50 years later, you might still not be picked up in a taxi because you're Aboriginal. Yeah, immediately the first thing would have been, and I remember this vividly, why was your dad in the newspapers? And on the day of the actual referendum, my thoughts then were helping Dad ferry people around to make sure that they voted. Dad was the then manager of the Aboriginal Advancement Council. He was actually the first Aboriginal manager there. So there was that political role, if you like, of making sure people got out to have their say. As a 13-year-old, is sitting in the classroom having all of that sort of stuff thrust in your face and being confronted with questions from not only teachers but students. So for me, all of that was quite traumatic. I didn't expect to be asked all sorts of questions that were beyond my level of understanding and beyond my capacity as a 13-year-old. Reflecting on that vote now, I don't believe a heck of a lot has changed. I think that we are still righting the wrongs. If you go looking beyond the yes vote and you look at some of the stats and you look at how Western Australia fared, it's not such a rah-rah occasion. Well, it was important on a number of different levels because it gave Aboriginal people more of a voice. It also ensured that Aboriginal people had access to proper services through the Commonwealth system, which they may or may not have had during as part of a state system. It led to our native title and the Mabo decision, and all those sorts of things are all part of that vote, in my view, because they followed along behind each other. As long as we all continue to work together, there are people in our community who want to affect change, and we're passionate about it and we work really hard towards it. There are, as in any community, there are people who are wanting us to demonstrate to them why should they join the referendum train, if you like, and work with us on change. But there are going to be elements in any community that couldn't care less and don't want to see change and don't want to participate. So I guess the biggest goal for me is working on building the groundswell so that as many as possible are working towards the ultimate goal of working and living together as a broad tapestry of wonderful communities and cultures all living and working and sharing together. That's my idea of reconciliation.